In this video, we are going to be analyzing Nikola, ticker NKLA, because it was requested in the comments. Now, to get straight into it, we've already got the key levels here, so we're going to run through what all of this means. So, we sold all the way to the downside. What you can see, this dashed line here, this is considered fair value on the stock. Now, one thing quite concerning with NKLA is you can see fair value is at 60 cents, but our 52 and all-time low is at 52 cents. So why is the fair value so low considering barely any price has taken place at there? The reason for that, and to make things very clear, is if we just go into a max time frame, you can see obviously it was basically dead in 2018, 2019. 2020, you had this massive move up to $94. And then what happened after there? Like a lot of these hype plays, you just die off. We keep selling off. Even breaking below the previous low, and now we're just trading at all-time lows. So whenever you see this on a stock, it is personally never anything I will touch, because what's the likelihood to happen is they will just continue to sell off. I made a video on it. You had a Mullen hat was one of the more recent names of it. Made a video. You get a lot of hate whenever you make a video being short bias on a stock like that. And what happened? People buying it up at $1, people buying it up at $5. Right now it's sitting at 18 cents. It happens time and time again. If you're buying something like this, just be cautious, or at least have the money that you have in there willing to lose, because the majority of the time you are going to lose it. So definitely not something I'm long bias on at all. I don't even care if we're at the lows. I'm not buying something like this. So what are then the key resistances I want to pay attention to? Because then this is where we can get more short bias. So what is quite nice, and probably why it's gaining some attention right now, is we have pushed, 200% off those lows, coming into $1.50. $1.50 was key. This is our first deviation on that 6-month chart. Really high probability level that you start to see a pullback off this level. And you can see that's kind of how it played out. You had that kind of 1 hour pop, because again, this is 1 hour candles. Came into this level, quickly went above it, but again, what happened? You have sellers taking profits above these levels. You have algorithms shorting it into these levels. So instantly come back below it. Again, that was still quite short-lived. We tried to retest it. But again, sellers, it's showing you sellers are in control. As soon as you keep hitting this level, they're taking us straight back below it. And then we started trading below it. Again, retested this 150 resistance, now selling off. Considering this one was quite a clean retest and then sell off, wouldn't be likely, it wouldn't be unlikely that this is that final move. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a move down to around 120. We crack that, we'll probably continue down and just push down to those all-time lows. However, on the other hand, if we do push to the upside, this is where I'm paying attention to the stock. Even though I'm not trading it long bias, I want it to push higher, because as we come into 190, as we come into 230, and I think we have one level higher, yeah, and $3.20, so 320, 235, $1.90. These are all levels where if we can push up to these, they are really high probability short bias locations. So all I'm going to be paying attention to is trading it short bias. Again, I don't care to catch it long. Don't really care how low it goes. I'm not touching this long bias at all. All I'm paying attention to is these levels. Trade it short bias, with targets being that next deviation. So if we're short in the 320, got that 230 target. If we're short in the 230, 190 target. Short in the 190, 150 target. Then the 150 is a bit harder to get a target on, because obviously statistical mean fair value is at 60 cents. Probably not going to hold it that whole way. So it would be something more where just lock into kind of key psychological levels. So obviously you've got $1.25 and $1. I probably wouldn't look to hold any lower than $1, because again, you're always going to have a bit of hesitation on that whole dollar. But again, this is one good thing though for Nikola before we finish off this video, is if it can hold above this $1. Now this would be quite good, especially if you're a long bias on this stock, you have a longer term outlook on this stock, because as long as we can stay above this $1, they're not going to be at risk of their Nasdaq delisting. So what you normally see with these stocks is they push below that $1, or you got that retest, you sell off, and they tend to stay below there. And if you stay below there, you're gonna have either two options: you get delisted or you do a reverse stock split. Neither is obviously good for the company, but a reverse stock split is never a great sign, because it shows that you can't fundamentally get the company up in value, so you have to artificially bring that value up, or at least the stock price up. So in this case, Nikola has been able to a bit more naturally push it up above that $1. So as long as you're able to hold that dollar, again, that's why I wouldn't short below that $1, because as soon as you short below that $1, then you're taking on that kind of delisting risk and all of that. So really $1 I would use as a target, but as long as we can hold above there, you know, at least there's a bit of strength on Nikola, but really overall the company is still weak. So any of those resistances, still really paying attention to its short bias.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you will probably enjoy this video too.